What's going on, everyone? Juicebags here, and welcome back to some Dungeon Defenders Awakened and my Rift Mode Let's Play on my alt account. Now, here we are on the Tornado Valley. Now, as you recall from the last few maps, or the last map, I started getting some blue items. Only one of these is really that fantastic at the moment. Actually, two pieces are fairly decent. So we've got that going on, and here is a look at the 4 stats. So this is my monk, heavy on range, power as a close second. On the apprentice, I've got things spread fairly evenly between power, range, and rate, and I'm going to start putting more into rate to get that evened out just a touch. Then we have the huntress, so fort, power, and range straight across. I haven't put much into rate yet. And then the lovely, lovely EV. Now, the EVA I'm mainly using for proton beams, as you all know, and I'm dumping everything directly into power. The reason being is protons just have really terrible scaling with defense rate. So just dumping it straight into power to get the most out of it. So let's go ahead and get things started here. What do we have? We got 350 DU to work with. Now, this map has one glaring problem. It's not necessarily a problem, but quite the challenge, and we're going to have it from here on out. That would be Dark Elf Warriors. Rifted Dark Elf Warriors are going to be introduced on this map in Wave 4, and I am not in a position to handle them. I think anyone that's just starting playing the game is definitely not going to be in a position to handle them, and to be honest with you, I think it's fairly debatable if they should even be in at this stage. They are in medium and on hard. Now, when you're just starting the game, if you're playing on Rift mode, medium and hard, dealing with Rifted Dark Elf Warriors are just not going to be a thing that's possible, as I don't have enough power to kill them, and I don't have any Rifted sets to deal with them. Now, there is, you can give the Dark Elf Warriors a little incidental damage. For example, if you're using, say, a Flame Burst tower and the Flame Burst is shooting at something else, it will hit the Dark Elf Warrior as well. However, what I'm going to do is do my best to just rely on avoidance. Now, Dark Elf Warriors will not hit the core, so that's another big benefit of them. As long as I don't get overrun by an ogre, then the Dark Elf Warriors eventually will time out if I die. Now, of course, I am playing it on hardcore mode, which it's really debatable if I should be doing that. From this stage of the game on with Dark Elf Warriors, I think death is imminent, and it's probably smarter to leave hardcore completely toggled off, and I will probably start doing that on the next map. I do want to kind of tough it out and see if I can't get through this one. They're not going to come till Wave 4, and you know, we've got a little bit of a grace period there. Now, one thing's for sure on this map, you know, you've got these 3 lanes that you can shut down all into this one bridge lane. However, the downside about that is it makes it so the map just takes forever to run. So that, of course, is something we're going to want to avoid. So I am going to throw a few more protons in right up front to try to camp out these mobs a little bit sooner so they don't have to take that long, slow walk all the way around to this final kill zone. Now, we don't have a ton of DU on this map, however, I am going to be taking advantage of those Ensnare Auras and Electric Auras, and I believe we'll have enough to get the job done. Let's see, we've got 434 to work with now. Okay, now here is where the lanes combine, and I think this point right here would probably be the most prominent choke point. So let's go ahead and get some proton beams set up that way. I'm going to make the X here, but basically I'm going to end the X so it's directly down the center of the opposing lane to try to get a little bit of damage in right up front here to make it so the map just doesn't take as long. Now, at each of our major chokes here, I am going to go ahead and drop a Ensnare Aura and an Electric Aura. Let's do the same thing right over here. Ensnare and Electric. The Electric Aura is popping off for 228. lightning damage now, a little bit more than once a second, so it's not putting out a ton of damage, but remember, it's got the best possible range, really, of just about anything I have set up. Now, with those Rifted Dark Elf Warriors, that 100% is going to be the main challenge of the map. Now, this particular map does have a Wave 5 Ogre, so what's going to happen if I die during the Rifted Dark Elf Warrior segment before the Ogre gets here? Well, you know, I'm going to run into trouble, so ideally I'm going to kill this Ogre prior to that. Now, we've got a little DU left. I think I'm just going to go ahead and drop a couple of buff beams, pardon me. We're going to put one right here on this choke point, making sure to cover those auras, and then just let it fly here. Now, our next buff beam is going to go into this lane, and this is where all of our upgrades are going to go. Right here and into these two protons up front. Our Ogre is going to come out of that lane, and I've kind of got a plan, but I don't know what I'm going to do on upcoming maps. As I mentioned, I think the time is come to toggle hardcore off. I believe that's going to make for a little bit more enjoyable experience playing through Rift mode, particularly if you are a brand new player. Now, obviously, if you're a brand new player, Rift mode may not be right for you. However, if you are a Dungeon Defenders veteran, or if you just want that extra challenge and you're comfortable with tower defense games, then by all means, you know, don't be afraid of it. Give it a whirl. Rift mode can be done. It's just gonna be ugly. Alright, so let's go ahead and drop an overclock beam right here. And now we just want to get these areas right here all stacked up. So I'm going to go ahead and hit both of those protons with an upgrade, and then both of these protons as well, and just let it fly here. Wave 3 should be a little bit of a snoozer, so let's jump on forward to the real deal, which comes in Wave 4. Alright, and here we are on Wave 4. The challenge is now upon us. Let's pop a few upgrades around over here. I do want to make sure that these auras stay good and healthy, so let's see, what do we want to do? Let's just go ahead and repair both of those just to make sure they stay alive. Now, over on this lane, do we want to do the same thing? Yeah, let's just do that. Let's upgrade both proton beams. We'll repair both of those auras, and then doing the exact same thing back over here. Now, as I mentioned, the challenge here is going to be Dark Elf Warriors. They're going to be a pain, there's just no doubt about it, and I think the strategy I'm going to use is going to be to try and kind of hide from them back up on the top of this rail. Now, let's see how it goes here. This could end up being quite sketchy. Hoping I'm going to be able to make it through here, but let's give it a fly. We'll get a nice little hidey hole here for the Dark Elf Warriors, where we can hide from, and I'm going to try to kill them, but to be completely honest with you, I don't think I'm going to be able to. Now, Dark Elf Warriors, you can get around them with bouncer blockades and slice and dice towers, do just wonders against elves. However, you know, as you all know, I don't have a squire leveled up, which means at this stage in the game to use bouncers and slice and dice towers, I would have to go back and re-level a squire. And that would be no fun. We got a Dark Elf Warrior directly underneath me here. Can I get some shots on him? Oh no, and we've got one that made it up top here. I was actually hoping the ones that were trying to jump up here would fall off the edge. Let's see, can he make that jump? Looks like he can. Alright, so let's try over here. I mean, it's kind of sketchy and extremely cheesy, but I think the best strategy might be to try to get him to jump off the edge. I just really think so. And we're down to one, so far that's been a bit of an effective strat, although definitely a little bit on the cheddar side. We've actually got that guy trapped out all by himself over there, so we can burn that one down. Now, this is a thought here. Now, obviously, it's going to be map specific as far as what you actually do to deal with the Delphs. However, on this situation, I think if I'm able to get over onto this platform, I might be able to trap them here. So I think I just may go for that strategy. So let's go ahead and get another round of upgrades on these protons. Our ogre is going to come out, I think it's this lane. It should be one of these two lanes. So I've got double sets of protons. So the ogre is going to have to walk through all these and then through all these, which means I'm not really going to have to DPS the ogre. I am going to have to avoid that rifted cobalt that he throws out, and then just avoid all of these Dark Elf warriors. So the challenge is going to be here, y'all. No doubt about it. Like I said, I think it's debatable whether or not Dark Elf warriors should be in Rift mode this early in the game. As a new player, just playing the game, just starting, I think that would be quite the treacherous mob to have to deal with. And I don't know. Like I said, it's a discussion, and I think it's debatable whether or not they should even be there. Let's go ahead and pop a couple of upgrades onto that electric aura. You know, I've got some points to spend. I'm debating on just popping them right into Vitality just to give myself a touch more health to try to survive this Dark Elf Warrior onslaught. Now, my strategy here, or the technique I'm going to attempt to use, is have the ogre throw the Rifted Kobold at me while I'm here, and then just run around and hide behind this and let the Kobold, of course, explode on the other side of this wall. Now, whether or not that works, we're going to have to find out. Let's check it out. I'm gonna camp it up here and kind of hide out from the Dark Elf Warriors until that ogre comes. Now, once that Rifted Kobold is in the air, I think it's going to be GG's, because I'll just have to avoid that one shot. So here come the Dark Elf Warriors. Oh, they are zerging on in. No ogre quite yet. Actually, here comes the ogre now. And he is coming out of that lane I expected him to come out of. So let's soak up this Kobold shot. Okay, here comes the Kobold now. So let's hide around this side of the pole. Okay, our Kobold did nothing, so fantastic. And now I'm going to come over to this platform and try to get some of these Dark Elf Warriors trapped over here. I'm not sure if that's going to work this time around. It actually looks like they may have fallen off the edge, so GG's there. Or no, we've got one more left. He is out, and let's go ahead. Oh no, he made the jump, or there was a second. Or no, I got clubbed by the ogre. So it's going to be a win, as this ogre is soft enough, he's dying. Now we've got two Dark Elf Warriors that can't do anything. So I have to just sit here and wait it out and wait for these two mobs to time out. It's going to be a really sketchy, cheesy win, but it is a win nonetheless. So we're able to get a victory here. Dark Elf Warriors in medium and hard mode on campaign, I think it's a little bit much personally. Let me know what you think about these Dark Elf Warriors being this early in the game down in the comments below. Now, the challenge with those, as I mentioned, is they're going to come after you. They're going to destroy any towers or walls you have available. They can't damage the core, but additionally, no defenses are going to target them. So no matter what I put up, I'm going to have issues there with these Rifted Dark Elf Warriors, and this is going to last through the rest of the playthrough. So I think this may be the last hardcore map I do. Let's let these bad boys time out and see what we got in our victory chest. Alright, and there we go. 420 years, 69 days later, the Rifted Dark Elf Warriors finally timed out, and we can take our cheesy victory. Now, like I said, I'm just not sure how I'm going to move forward in this playthrough. That's a little rough, and there is actually my first blue rifted piece. That would be so awesome to actually get a rift set put together. And there is my first green fusion weapon as well. Now, sadly, it is the flamethrower. You're going to get the minigun in Act 1, the flamethrower in Act 2, and the paintball gun in Act 3. So when Act 3 rolls around, I think it's going to be GG's. I'm going to have fantastic weapons for my Huntress and my EV, but until we get to that point, I may even switch it up to a staff. I'm just not sure yet. But there is a Tornado Highlands, hardcore, and rifted. And Quite sketchy, no doubt. Dark Elf Warriors are the real deal in Rift mode, and really, to be honest, I think they are probably one of the biggest challenge elements all the way up in all of the tiers, all the way up to Massacre when they are rifted. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see ya next time around. Take it easy.